Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the 6th Annual Fulbright Egypt Alumni Appreciation Event. Our host tonight is Dr. Maggie Nassif, Executive Director of the Binational Fulbright Commission in Egypt and Fulbright Egypt Alumni of the U.S. Scholar Program.
Thank you for joining us from the United States and Egypt to celebrate the successful completion of the Fulbright grants and the safe return home of the 2020 alumni cohort. We have a lot to be thankful for, especially in these difficult times of great uncertainty. Let me start by saying that our hearts go out to all those who lost their lives, their loved ones, or their livelihood because of the pandemic. And let me acknowledge the first responders, doctors, nurses, firefighters, law enforcement, and providers of essential goods and services who are out there taking care of us at a huge personal risk. And we remain hopeful as we meet today in true Fulbright spirit, which has fostered friendship and mutual respect between Egypt and the United States for the last 71 years. Since the founding of the Fulbright Commission in Egypt on November 3, 1949. As the Commission facilitates the exchange of knowledge between scholars of the two nations, we pride ourselves on the Commission's values embodied in the lives and work of our grantees and alumni. Our values are excellence, collaboration, development, integrity, commitment, and empathy, as exemplified by our alumni, one Fulbrighter at a time. To help us celebrate the accomplishments of each and every one of our 2020 alumni of the Fulbright Student Program, Islamic Studies, Foreign Language Teaching Assistant, Fulbright Scholar, Fulbright Specialist, and Hubert Humphrey programs, I am joined tonight by the head of the Fulbright Commission, the chair of the board, Deputy Minister of Higher Education, Dr. Ayman Ashour. And from the UN Embassy in Cairo, we have a special guest of honor, US Ambassador to Egypt, Mr. Jonathan Cohen.
Please welcome the Binational Fulbright Commission in Egypt Chair, Deputy Minister of Higher Education and Scientific Research, Professor Ayman Ashour. Dr. Ashour is the current Deputy Minister of Higher Education and Scientific Research for University Affairs. He is a member of the Supreme Council of Physical Planning and was the Dean of the Faculty of Engineering at Shams University for 6 years, during which he made several significant and impactful achievements in engineering education, such as implementing dual degrees with international universities in England, Germany, China, and Italy. Among his achievements is founding the Fusion Initiative, which links academia and industry, and heading the Technical Committee for monitoring the construction of national educational projects. Professor Ashour is the founder of the first innovation hub in governmental universities in Egypt, and the founder of Archplan International Engineering Office, with national projects in Egypt and regional Arab countries, like the Sultanate of Oman, the United Arab Emirates, and Saudi Arabia. Please welcome Dr. Ashour.
It is a pleasure welcoming you all to today's ceremony in my capacity as the Deputy Minister of Higher Education and Scientific Research, as well as the chair of the Binational Fulbright Commission in Egypt. I would like to welcome the US Ambassador to Egypt, Mr. Jonathan Cohen, the Fulbright Egypt Executive Director, Dr. Maggie Nassif, and my fellow board members, Ms. Helen Lafave, Dr. Mohammed Lataif, Dr. Kamelia Sobhi, Dr. Haytham Hamza, Mr. Wick Powers, and Mr. Raymond Miller. Since its establishment in 1949, the Fulbright Program continues to enhance mutual understanding between our two countries and supports education through scholarships, contributing directly to Egypt's Vision 2030 goals related to university, technical, and vocational education through the provision of scholarships for master's degrees, postdoctoral research, and leadership training opportunities for professionals. The Commission also runs several community college programs for graduates of secondary schools and technical schools, institutes to enroll for one academic year at a community college in the US in several fields of study. In addition to bringing American scholars and short-term specialists to conduct joint research, teach and conduct training at Egyptian university, campuses and ministries, thereby advancing knowledge across communities. Under the protocol created between the Egyptian Ministry of Foreign Affairs and the US State Department, we look forward to continue cultivating our shared core values of excellence, collaboration, empathy, commitment, integrity, and development through educational exchange. On behalf of the Ministry of Higher Education and Scientific Research, I would like to welcome and to congratulate the 2020 returning Fulbright alumni. Thank you.
And now, please welcome the U.S. Ambassador to Egypt, His Excellency Mr. Jonathan Cohen. Mr. Cohen is the U.S. Ambassador to the Arab Republic of Egypt. Prior to his arrival in Cairo, he served as the acting representative of the United States to the United Nations, Deputy Assistant Secretary of State for European and Eurasian Affairs. He served as Deputy Chief of Mission of the U.S. Embassy in Iraq, France, and Cyprus, and as Minister Counselor for Political Affairs in France and Italy. A Foreign Service officer since 1986, he served on assignments which included Political Advisor to Operation Northern Watch, Liaison to the Hungarian Chairmanship of the Organization for Security and Cooperation in Europe, Executive Assistant to the Head of the OSCE Bosnia Mission, State Department's OSCE Desk Officer, NATO Bosnia Officer, and on the Secretariat Staff Advanced Teams for Secretaries of State Baker, Eagleberger, and Christopher. Earlier in his career, he was the USAID Coordinator and the Economic Officer for the West Bank at the U.S. Consulate General in Jerusalem and Consular Refugee Affairs Officer at the U.S. Embassy in Thailand. Please welcome Mr. Cohen.
Thank you all for being with us virtually tonight to celebrate Fulbright, the long-standing scholarly partnership between Egypt and the United States, and the achievements of Egyptian and American Fulbrighters. I want to extend a special thank you to Maggie Nassif, the Executive Director of the Binational Fulbright Commission in Egypt, also to the Commission staff and the members of the Fulbright Board, the Egyptian members, Chairman of the Board, Dr. Ayman Ashour, Dr. Haitham Hamza, and Dr. Mohammed Lataif, and the American members, our Embassy Minister Counselor for Public Affairs, Helen Lafave, USAID Education Officer, Wick Powers, and our American citizen member, Mr. Raymond Miller. As Helen will be completing her assignment in Egypt shortly, let me also take this opportunity to thank her for her outstanding contributions to the US mission and to American public diplomacy in Egypt. Helen, thank you and congratulations on an outstanding assignment here. Fulbright is the flagship among American exchange programs. Starting after World War II, it's brought students, scholars, and researchers to the United States and sent Americans throughout the world. In the inspiring words of the program's founder, Senator William Fulbright, educational exchange can turn nations into people, contributing as no other form of communication can to the humanizing of international relations. As a Fulbright alumnus myself, I'm especially pleased to welcome our newest alumni into the worldwide network of Fulbright alums, a community that shares a deep commitment to building academic ties, and in particular among this group between Egypt and the United States. This has been quite a year for all of us, and Fulbright has been no exception. I know our American Fulbrighters departed Egypt very quickly in March with the onset of COVID-19, and I'm glad that they all got home safe and sound. We know their time in Egypt was valuable to them and to their scholarship. Likewise, we are pleased that our Egyptian Fulbright scholars and students were able to return home safely. I'm certain your experiences in the United States were valuable and changed in some fashion how you look at your scholarship and at the world. This evening, I want to mention the Fulbright Specialists Program, which brings American scholars to Egypt for short-term 2 to 6 week long projects with Egyptian universities and ministries. In the past, Cairo and Ain Shams universities and the American University in Cairo hosted American Fulbright specialists. We expect Fulbright specialists to return to Egypt in spring 2021, COVID conditions permitting. We have specialists in the pipeline for the Ministry of Higher Education and the Ministry of Planning, as well as for Cairo and Ain Shams universities and AUC. I'm very pleased that we'll again soon be welcoming American Fulbrighters to Egypt. And I hope that those of you from other universities and ministries will consider requesting Fulbright specialists in the future. Today, Fulbright in Egypt celebrates over 70 years of accomplished scholars, Egyptian and American, studying and researching together. Congratulations on your achievements, and I join you in celebrating Fulbright, scholarship, and enduring Egyptian-American collaboration. Thank you very much for your attention.
And now to celebrate the alumni of the 2020 Fulbright Student, Islamic Studies, Foreign Language Teaching Assistant, Fulbright Scholar, Fulbright Specialist and Hubert Humphrey programs for the successful completion of their Fulbright grants. Here are our 2020 alumni in order of their programs and host institutions. The Fulbright Egyptian Student Program, master's degree grants for university graduates to study in the US in all fields. Ahmed Assam Abdelhamid, Catering University, Engineering. Ahmed Gad, Louisiana State University, Oceanography and Coastal Science. Ahmed Mustafa Al-Bayoumi, University of San Francisco, Entrepreneurship and Innovation. Alia Mithat Imara, University of Nebraska-Lincoln, Teaching, Learning and Teacher Education. Amira Hasham Khalil, University of Illinois at Urbana-Champaign, Policy Economics. Amira Hasham Al-Shirbini, University of Illinois at Urbana-Champaign, Construction Engineering and Management. Aya Muhammad Thabit, University of California Global Health. Fadi Anwar Anis, Northeastern University, Energy Systems. Lina Sami Sawi, University of Houston Clear Lake, Engineering Management. Maged Ahmed Arisha, University of Notre Dame, International Human Rights Law. Mahmoud Eid Omar, University of Houston Clear Lake, Environmental Science. Muhammad Ahmed Gad, University of Houston Geophysics. Muhammad Ali Farag, University of Dayton, Engineering Management. Muhammad Atif Al-Masri, Rochester Institute of Technology, Telecommunication Engineering Technology. Muhammad Ayman Badawi, Southern California Institute of Architecture, Design Theory and Pedagogy. Muhammad Gamal Nabail, University of Massachusetts, Computer Science. Muhammad Shawqi Abu Zaid, Michigan Technological University, Geophysics. محمد حمدي شعبان ستوني بروك يونيفرسيتي Pharmaceutical Sciences مصطفى عبد العزيز عطلة Worcester Polytechnic Institute Robotics Engineering نهلة مصطفى أحمد Roosevelt University Business Administration MBA رامي كرم حبيب Florida International University International MBA ريهام رمضان محمد University of Nevada Communication Studies سامر نجيب إبراهيم Washington University in St. Louis Finance شيماء الصفوري City University of New York Public Health Epidemiology طاهر شريف بناني University of Michigan Ann Arbor Law طارق محمد جلهم University of Houston Geology يوسف هشام أمين Emerson College Film and Media Art The Fulbright Egyptian Visiting Student Researcher Grants provide opportunities for students registered in PhD programs at universities in Egypt to collect data and conduct research in the US. دعاء سعيد علم الدين Rutgers, the State University of New Jersey Medical Sciences, Oncology إيمان محمد ثابت University of California Physiology سناء السيد البسيوني University of Michigan Geology, Paleontology The Fulbright Applied Fine and Performing Arts Grants provide opportunities for professional artists to conduct field research and study in the US. Mina Nasr Abd al-Sayed George Washington University Public Art Sculpture The Fulbright Islamic Studies program provides grants for graduates of Islamic Studies from Al-Azhar University and Dar al-Ulum to pursue master's or PhD degrees in the US. Abdullah Ibrahim Omran Indiana University Near Eastern Languages and Cultures The Fulbright US Student Program provides opportunities for master's and doctoral degree candidates in the US to conduct research in Egypt. Catherine Isanor Cairo University Veterinary Medicine The Fulbright US Specialist Program promotes linkages between US academics and professionals and their counterparts at Egyptian institutions through short-term collaborative projects. Andrew J. Smythe, Ain Shams University, English Language and Literature. Craig E. Ullum, Helwan University, International Education Management. The Fulbright US Scholar Program provides opportunities for American professionals and scholars to lecture and conduct research at universities and research institutions in Egypt. Jacqueline Berry, The American University in Cairo, Psychology. Clarissa Bird, Cairo University, Literature. Richard McGregor, The American University in Cairo, Islamic Studies. Tammy Avincions, The Academy of Arts, Music. The Fulbright Foreign Language Teaching Assistant Program provides early career teachers of English from Egypt the opportunity to teach and study at colleges and universities in the United States. Amina Ahmed Gad, Wake Forest University. آية أحمد عطوة Bethany College. ابتسام أمين عاشور Williams College. إيهاب أسامة العفيفي Benedictine University. إسلام بدوي مصطفى كارلتون كوليدج. هدير إسماعيل Pennsylvania State University. حسام حسن عقاب Duke University. خديجة أحمد أبو بكر University of Scranton. لبنى عبد السميع Grinnell College. محمد إبراهيم University of Kentucky. نهال الجميل Bard College. نهى ميهوب Stetson University. رامي سعد College of St. Rose. ريهام فخري دردير Lincoln University of the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania. رودينا موسى Southern Illinois University. سالي فرح جورج ميسون University. سلمى إمام محمد براون University. سمر عزت سلام فالدوستا ستيت يونيفرسيتي. سارة أحمد عبد الرحمن كولبي كوليدج. سارة عبد الرحمن توفيق ديكنسون كوليدج. سارة عبد الناصر صالح ميشيغان ستيت يونيفرسيتي. سوسن فوزي علي Mississippi Valley State University. The Hubert H. Humphrey Fellowship is a one-year leadership development program for young and mid-career professionals. Ahmed Touni, American University in Washington, Law and Human Rights. Muna Ali, Arizona State University, Communications and Journalism. The Fulbright Egyptian Scholar Program provides Egyptian postdoctoral faculty members in all fields opportunities to conduct research at U.S. institutions. Ahmed Khurshid, University of California, Chemistry. آلاء شكري عمارة University of North Carolina, Dental Sciences. عماد الدين أحمد Michigan State University, Agriculture. فتحي مدحت حسن Kent State University, Chemistry. جمال الدين عمار Cornell University, Agriculture. حجاج علي Columbia University, Philosophy. حمودة محمد موسى Massachusetts Institute of Technology, Engineering. مروة أحمد سلام Harvard University, Pharmacy. أسامة محمد عباس University of Maryland, Veterinary Medicine. شريف محمود إبراهيم U.S. Department of Agriculture, Agricultural Research Center, Veterinary Medicine. وسيم خطاب Southern Illinois University, Veterinary Medicine.
Congratulations again to the 2020 alumni of the Binational Fulbright Commission in Egypt. You make us proud. There is one more acknowledgement in order for someone who has done so much for the Fulbright program in Egypt and who will be leaving us soon. Minister Counselor for Public Affairs at the US Embassy in Cairo, Ms. Helen Lafave. I join Ambassador Cohen in showing great gratitude to Helen. Ms. Lafave came to Egypt 3 years ago and has been instrumental in reinstating all US programs in Egypt after a 5-year suspension. She has been able to reopen all Fulbright programs for scholars, graduate students, professionals, and beyond Fulbright at the undergraduate and high school levels. Thank you, Helen. This was no easy task, and we, as well as academics in Egypt and the US, owe you a big thank you. Helen has also forged great friendships throughout her 3 years in Egypt, where she visited universities and ministries and met with students and professors, citizens and ministers. On a personal note, Helen has been a great support and colleague, and I have enjoyed working with her. I will miss talking to her and seeing her. As Helen gets ready to move to her next assignment, we wish her well. Helen, you know that you have friends in Cairo and that we hope you will continue to come back and visit. Thank you, Helen. Would you like to say something to the academic community in Egypt and to our Fulbright alumni?
I would. Thank you very much, Maggie. Mostly, I'd like to say thank you. I've had a terrific time here in Egypt, and one of the best parts of my time in Egypt has been working with you and Fulbright and the members of the board and the wonderful staff at the Fulbright Commission, and getting a chance to meet some of the many scholars, students, alumni of Fulbright. I know before COVID, we were able to have some sessions at the Villa and hear about some of the scholarship. And I know post-COVID that will start up again. But they were wonderful examples of the connection between Egypt and the United States through Fulbright, through scholarship, taking that step in making countries into people, into connections. And I am just so impressed. I will tell you that I'd heard about the slideshow earlier this week, and I'm very interested to see how it came out. And I think it came out wonderfully. Getting a chance to see all the scholars who had been to the United States and the ones who had come here, and see what they had studied, what their scholarship was. I very much appreciate this. I know that they represent Fulbright values, the values that keep the commission going, keep the connection going, and serve us well into the future. I cannot thank you all enough for letting me be a part of it. Unlike Ambassador Cohen, I have not been a Fulbright alumna myself, but I'm going to consider myself an honorary Fulbright alumna for serving on the board here in Egypt. So I'm very honored to have a connection with all of you. I'm looking forward to seeing what you continue to do. And I thank you for making my time in Egypt so special. And I wish you all the very best of luck. Thank you.
Thank you, Helen, and good luck again. Congratulations again to the 2020 alumni of the Binational Fulbright Commission in Egypt. Today, we induct this new cohort to our larger Fulbright Egypt network of wonderful partners whose support make our work possible. We are grateful for the dedication of our active alumni circles, the Egyptian Fulbright Humanities Circle, Science Circle, and Hubert Humphrey Circle. We appreciate our partners who are represented on our board of directors, the Ministry of Higher Education, the US Embassy in Cairo, the Supreme Council of Egyptian Universities, and USAID. And of course, our friends at the Ministry of Foreign Affairs and our funders at the Education and Cultural Affairs Bureau of the US Department of State, represented today by our guests in the audience, Ms. Sarah O'Sullivan, Chief of the Near East Affairs Bureau, and Ms. Ashley Gamp, Senior Program Officer. And Ashley is our Egypt Program Officer. Thank you for joining us, you two. This is in addition to our many friends on Egyptian and US university campuses and research institutes that help us recruit and host our programs. We could not do our work without your great work. We invite you all to stay connected with the Commission by following us on our social media platforms. We ask that you all join us again in January as we resume our Alumni Digital Dialogue series. For the Fulbright alumni, please take the time to fill out the alumni form on the Commission website to access the Fulbright app to join the global network of Fulbright alumni from all over the world. This is a great new resource that we encourage you to make use of. Thanks again to all of you for joining us. It is an honor to host you. There is one faithful friend of the Commission who is with us tonight and has been joining us every year for the annual celebration, Deputy Minister of Telecommunication and Information Technology, Ms. Ghada Labib. Thank you very much for joining us tonight. We are honored by your friendship. We are grateful that Dr. Ashour and Ambassador Cohen took the time to join our celebration tonight. Thank you very much, Ambassador, for joining us and staying with us. I would like to thank very much my Fulbright team for putting this program together. This room is full of colleagues who are making things happen here. Take care of yourselves and your loved ones, and goodbye. On behalf of the Binational Fulbright Commission in Egypt team, thank you very much, Maggie Nassif.